Senior members of the Zulu royal household are finalising plans to lay AmaZulu King Goodwill Zwelithini to rest. This will happen on Wednesday night. King Zwelithini died in a Durban hospital on Friday. The Zulu Royal Family has expressed deep gratitude to the nation for the messages of condolences. It says the burial and funeral rituals of Amakhosi and kings are events that happen in private and are not witnessed by anybody other than close family members. Now, to help us better understand the cultural significance of the procedure and terminology used when a king passes, we're joined by cultural expert and senior lecturer at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, Dr. Gugu Mazibuko. Dr. Mazibuko, thank you very, very much for joining us. Looking forward to this conversation.
Good morning, Leanne and the viewers. Thank you very much for hosting me.
Pleasure. Thanks for accepting. What is the proper terminology to refer to the passing of a king? And I imagine it is very, very important to get this right.
Yes. Leanna, it's very important to note that when the king passes on, the terminology that is used must be the one that is different from any other ordinary person. Because even from the time the king is sick, it is not said the king is sick, but we use the term uyadunguzela, which is more lighter than is sick, so that the nation doesn't see that and the entire people, they don't see that it's serious. So we use the term uyadunguzela. And then when the sun set, we then use that the king has passed on ingonyama ikhotheme, because if we use the term dead, he is dead, it means that something that dies is something that can no longer be recovered, and something that can no longer be heard of again. So we cannot say the king died, because there is the throne. The throne will never die. So that is why we prefer to use the king has passed on, the sun has set. In isiZulu, we say isilo sikhotheme, because he has just bowed down, but will wake up in the land of the ancestors and look after the nation.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you know, when you look at this particular king, I mean, this has been the king of the Zulu nation for the last 50 years, one of the longest serving, if not the longest serving king, the globe around. The wealth of history, the knowledge, the everything that unfortunately is going to be buried with the king. I'm not sure we can actually understand this. And I mean, this is a very, very big moment for the country, but particularly for the Zulu nation. Talk to us about this and the mourning process that goes along with this.
The mourning process has already begun, because as soon as the announcement that was made by the traditional Prime Minister of AmaZulu, in this case, Chief Mangosuthu Buthelezi, that the sun has set, the king has passed on, the mourning immediately began. However, the processes and the journey, it is different from the one that was taking place when the previous monarchs have passed on, like the father of the late king, because people will come in numbers, the nation will come in numbers to the royal family to pay their last respect. But because of the COVID-19 and in making sure that as the nation, we don't go against all the regulations of the pandemic. Therefore, we listen to the announcements that are made as to how is this going to happen in a new or in a particular manner. However, without interfering with the cultural rituals and all the royal processes that are conducted when the king has passed on.
Yeah, and
so
yes, it has become very, very difficult because, I mean, we've seen with all the COVID-19 regulations, they have gotten in the way of what would have been a massive event for many people that are wanting to go down and pay their respects and their last respects, and of course for the king to lay in state, which is not going to be happening anymore, all of this due to COVID regulations. And of course he's been bestowed a Category 1 funeral, and this is now more somewhat of a memorial service in a way, because what we understand is that as per the king's wishes, he wants to be buried, laid to rest in the evening. This will happen on Wednesday evening, surrounded by males. His two sons who passed had very similar burials as well. Talk to us about the significance of this. I mean, what does this in fact mean? Obviously, these were his wishes, but is there a cultural significance to this as well?
Yes. One important thing, Leanne, is that the royal proceedings are sacred.
Yeah.
Not only the funerals, but even when the cultural events that involve the king are to be performed, there are things that are not for the whole public, but for the royal family members only. Because of the sensitivity and the rituals that go hand in hand with that particular event that is taking place at that moment. And in the case of the king's burial, well, we don't say the king is buried, but we say the king will be planted.
Yeah.
We use that term because they are not burying him. We are not burying him, but we plant him because whatever that you plant will come up again. So those are the sacred spaces of the royal family that we need to respect, and also we need to know that at some point we as the nation, as the whole country, we need to respect their private spaces when they perform particular rituals, which doesn't involve all other members of the public.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they are sacred spaces.
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, I'm glad you spoke to the term planted as opposed to buried, because I think a lot of people have been seeing that and questioning what do you mean planted. So it's quite a beautiful analogy actually, that one is not buried, one is planted, and that you do continue to grow, and this is something that's vital. So as you say, these are very sacred rituals that are going to be taking place, and I ask you just in terms of why the process and the burial happens at night. Is there any cultural significance to that? As I'd said, I know that both of the two late sons of the king had also been buried at night. Is there any significance, or is that just something that they had requested?
It's something that even the past kings, let me put it this way. It's how the way things are done in the Zulu Royal Family when the member has passed on, because it has its own significance, and also it is the continuation of how the planting of kings was done in the past. Because if you go back to history, you will see that even with the past monarchs, the same thing happened. Yes.
You know, I know that as time goes by, as you say, we're already in a period of mourning. We will be seeing what the family go through on Wednesday. Obviously, that is a very private ceremony, something we won't see. On Thursday, there will be somewhat of a memorial service, and we've all been urged to watch that and not, obviously, the Zulu Nation to make their way down there. What happens in terms, and just finally, very quickly, in terms of a succession plan, when will that be announced? Because again, this is a very important moment once the announcement of the new Zulu King is made. When does that happen? Do we wait for a certain amount of time to go by, or is that again in the hands entirely of the royal family to come up with?
Yes, Leanne, it's in the hands. It's in the hands of the royal family, and also that would be announced. Well, we need to understand that currently there is the dark cloud, and when there's a dark cloud in any family, the royal family in particular at this moment, in our culture, when the king has been planted and there are other rituals, the cleansing rituals that takes place soon after. And then we need to wait for the royal family to go through the processes, and then they will make the announcement. And for us is to wait for the announcement to be made.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we have no control. We cannot assume who is next. We cannot even imagine that, because with the past king, this is what happened. Yes,
and the same thing we'll see happening.
We have to wait for the royal family to give us direction.
Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to us and giving us a little bit more of an understanding. Cultural expert and senior lecturer at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, Dr. Gugu Mazibuko, helping us understand some of the cultural practices and terminologies associated with the passing of the AmaZulu King, Goodwill Zwelithini, basically saying that the current king's spirit will be transferred into the next king. A sadder week it is. It is going to be a very culturally rich week here in South Africa as we learn a lot.